Hey guys, Stephen here at St. Stephen and St. Joe's. So this week we're going to talk about life in Christ. So last week was all about the Christian mystery, entering into God, abiding with God, living in relationship with God. But now we're going to talk about expressing that relationship, the life in Christ, the third part of the catechism about the moral life. But morality is not really about rules more so than it is about order. The Old Testament, for example, is all about God establishing order into the world. Think about Genesis. God brings an ordered world out of the waters of chaos. He even does so in an ordered way with 6 days of creating. Man and woman are the pinnacle of that ordered creation. But notice what the devil does. He brings disharmony, disunity, and distrust. Chaos enters into the world. Man is at enmity with the woman, at enmity with the beast, and ultimately at enmity with God. Sin is disorder. In the most basic and fundamental sense, it is idolatry. It's ordering one's life without reference to the true orderer. Living for something other than God is the ultimate end. The rest of the Bible is about God reestablishing order to help humans order themselves back to God. With Noah, God sees a disorder in the world and seeks to reorder it by recreating it from the chaotic waters. God trains Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to live apart from the nations who practice idolatry to worship the one true God. And God calls Moses to free the Israelites from the disordered Egypt. And he meticulously explains how to relate to God with instructions on the tabernacle and all of the commandments. And of course, eventually the temple. All of these things are ordered ways for the people to relate to God. Then the order himself comes into the world, the Logos, the Word, the mind of God. And he leaves his body here as the beginning of the perfectly ordered kingdom. The church is now the reordered society here on earth. Back to morality. Morality has to do with conforming to the ultimate order. And that might mean that it's difficult, that it might be stuff that we don't want to do right away. But remember Israel, whose name literally means to wrestle with God. Israel is in the wrestling, being transformed, being reordered. God is working on him, stripping him of idols, losing battles, winning battles, being purged in the desert. He's in the exile, being stripped of pride. Christianity and Judaism are about transformation of the person, where God comes into the world, where he interacts with the world to reorient us back to the Father, back to heaven. Sin isn't this thing that makes God hate us. It's the thing that makes him want to save us. Sin is the ailment that we all suffer from. It's not just doing the wrong thing. It's a fundamental disordered view of who God is. And sins are just the product of the deeper problem. We humans make God out to be an idol, as if he were an authoritative and merciless God, someone who could never love us, as if he hates the way that I am. Some of us see him as an indifferent God. And these misunderstandings of God often inform how we act every day. Perpetual anger and anxiety are often symptoms of my inability to see my worth in God's eyes. Sin is a deep sickness that distorts our view of who God is, and the sickness shows out in the sin. So morality is not just about arbitrary rules. It's about understanding the human person correctly and acting accordingly to order one's life as he or she truly is, as a loved creature with a certain design and purpose in the grand order of the orderer. And yeah, it might be painful. We long for peace, but we groan inwardly as we await the redemption of our bodies. But where there's order, there is God. And so is peace and joy. Just look at the saints. Holiness comes with joy and peace, because one's whole life is ordered as it's meant to be. They don't obsess about what others think all the time, because they're mostly preoccupied about what God thinks about them. They don't lash out because they see the goodness that God sees in them. So back to us today. Morality is less about following the rules than it is about order. It's about living a correctly ordered life, a transformed life, one that we can be joyful in and peaceful because we're living from the truest self, a profound awareness of who we are before God, an understanding in which we don't treat God as an idol, and we really treat others and God as they truly are. He's breaking into the world to reorder us, to make us more truly who we are. Thanks everyone for watching again. Know of my prayers. I really enjoyed making this, and we'll see you next time.